The Idries Shah Foundation podcast. Practical psychology for today. Featuring the works of Idries Shah, narrated by David Ault. Welcome to the Idries Shah Foundation podcast. This is the 12th in a series of selections made by the members of our Facebook group. It comes from the Commanding Self and is entitled Etiquette. I have just had a letter from a reader who is annoyed by my alleged opposition to etiquette. He says, "There is only one way to do right things, and often only one person who can or should do them. This is an important principle of religious actions, and it is seen to good advantage in etiquette as practiced everywhere and at all times." He concludes, "Learn spirituality from etiquette, which is never wrong or acts to anyone's detriment, nor does it produce unhappiness." Now that's a thought. I would not ordinarily take much notice of a letter like that, except that it is the latest of quite a number. If things are, and always are, the way my correspondent puts it, he is right. But my attitude towards hidebound custom masquerading as social or religious sanctity can also be justified by reference to etiquette. Never wrong, never acts to anyone's detriment, does not produce unhappiness. Let us see. I shall choose an example which is sufficiently far from most people to avoid too much offence, and leave you to seek similarities in more contemporary and immediate areas. Spanish etiquette is said to have been one of the most developed systems of the kind in the world. And, of course, Spanish court etiquette was the best example of it. One day, the Spanish queen, wife to Charles II, was riding when she slipped from the saddle, hanging upside down by her stirrups. Luckily, at the time, she was attended by 43 courtiers and others. Etiquette demanded it. So far, so good. But who was to go to the aid of Her Majesty? Etiquette said that nobody was permitted to intervene in such an event except the Grand Equerry. The only problem was that the equerry was not present, so the 43 remained frozen where they were. Surely someone would break the rules and save the Queen. Sure enough, a man who was passing the royal band saw the difficulty and ran forward, releasing Her Majesty's feet. He only did this, it was noted, because he was not aware of the very strict protocol which prevented anyone, except the correctly appointed person, to aid the Queen. Was he rewarded? Yes, indeed. He immediately received a number of gold coins. But one question remained. The stranger, even though ignorant of etiquette, had committed the crime of touching the Queen. This could not go unpunished, and he was duly banished from the kingdom for his insolence. It would have been etiquette to leave the lady in her predicament. It was wrong to go to help her. It was right to reward the passer-by. Etiquette demanded his banishment, but never to anyone's detriment, does not produce unhappiness. Perhaps the man really wanted to be banished. This audio is made available by the Idries Shah Foundation and is copyright 2019. All rights reserved.